That was the kerosene dozer.
And these are some hot nuts.
Ooh, those look good.
They're delicious.
Let's get into it. Ooh. Ah. So I was thinking it was the hydraulics that were the problem. It turns out it was. And one of the things you'll get when you don't have all the right tools is you better be a MacGyver kind of person to come up with the tools and not make a big mess. So when I drain the hydraulics, guess what we get? Milky stuff. Which means the hydraulic fluid, for those of you that may not be of a mechanical mind, is mixed with water, which is bad. And if it's going to get super cold, like 8 degrees, like the forecast says, my concern was that the water in the hydraulics would freeze and then burst all the pipes and just make a big mess. So today's job is, one, hopefully go back and get a 24 volt battery. The one they gave us was 12 volts. Doesn't start this big boy. And in the world of bulldozers, it's the little bulldozer that could. The little bulldozer that will. So, we're going to drain this. So far, my 5-gallon bucket is almost full. I don't know if that shows up in the camera, but it's down here. And I don't know if the glug glug means we're almost there, but I don't want to make a big mess. No, it's nasty stuff. How are you? Yes, my girl. Huh? No. It's a good girl. My hands are busy, I'm sorry. Holy cannoli. How much hydraulic fluid does this hold? All right, welcome to the laboratory. You okay? Let's see if we can get this to work. There's no guarantee. You might fall again. I apologize. All right, so today's objective is to get the bulldozer running. We've got the new filter right here, sealed up nice and new. And then we've got the old filter here. I wanted to use 2 filters, one to cycle the engine oil through. The hydraulics for the bulldozer take regular engine oil, diesel engine oil. So it's the same oil for the engine and for the hydraulic tank, which I think is brilliant, but that's totally old school. What happened was I assumed incorrectly that it took hydraulic fluid and I topped it off with hydraulic fluid. Not such a good idea. So we've got a mixture. I don't know if there's water in the oil as well, so that's yet to be determined. But we got a milky substance. I went to change out the batteries, had to take this out to get the batteries out, and ended up with a bunch of milky yee. So, even though there was an easier way to change the battery too. So, what do you do? But we found a problem we would have not known that was there, so we don't want to break equipment. And we're going to do some old guy secrets today on getting the water, if there is water, out of the oil. And that, as you probably see, is the kerosene. So what I've been doing is testing to make sure that the old guy theory actually works. And it does. Those old guys are smart. Well, I don't know how long this goes back, but anyway, the kerosene in first, probably about this much, I'm going to assume, and then poured oil on top. And what happened is all the milky stuff, that kerosene attached itself to the water. I'm guessing. I'm not a scientist, so if you are, add the comments below to tell us all actually how this works. But what I have come to the determination of is it attaches itself to the water and all that milky substance came up. So if I tilt this, you're probably not going to see it. I'm going to pour it into here, and you're going to see kind of a milky weirdness, and then you're going to see oil come out right after that. So, and I'll try not to make a mess. You'll see I've got my diaper down here. So if we do make a mess, I'll try and go up, I think. So there's the milky, and then you see it get darker. And then that's just, yep, pretty much oil from there on out. So what the goal is I want to reuse this same filter, because these filters, the white one there I found on Amazon for 80 bucks. If you purchase them through a retailer, they're going to be, hi Lisa, they're going to be anywhere from 180 to 120. So 80 bucks was a steal, which is ridiculous. Lisa, you're not going to come say hi to the people?
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
We're in the lab.
We're in the lab. Oh,
yeah.
boy.
So we're going to finish draining this guy. This is the original one. I don't know if you see where the date is. Last time it was changed was 08.
Oh, my goodness.
How many years ago was that? I know math. It's like noon. Long time
10,
ago.
12,
Lisa
13,
can't do math.
14, 15.
Neither can I, that quick.
15 years ago?
Yeah. Well, and if the filters are anywhere from 180 to 120, I don't know what the prices would have been like 5 years ago. Before COVID. COVID screwed up everything. So anyway, we're going to reuse this filter. We're going to cycle the engine oil through. My game plan is to do a gallon at a time, because the reservoir, the tank for hydraulics, 18.2 gallons. For a 5-gallon bucket of the cheapest diesel oil I could find was $75. Most people anywhere I found it on Amazon for 111, Napa was 130 something. So I just don't want to go through that much expense. So we're going to put this back on. I think what I'll do is fill this with oil first, so the system doesn't have to fill this up. We'll put that on. We'll put roughly about a gallon of oil in the tank with about a quarter of a gallon of kerosene. I've got two and a half-ish, because I've used this up just experimenting. Well, I haven't used it up. Where's it at? It's probably just under half, just over half full. And we'll go from there. Snowy, sunny day. It is kind of beautiful though. I don't know, so yeah, you can almost see the blue sky. So there's the field above us there. And the old outhouse. Hopefully you don't get dizzy. And there's blue sky up there. That's cool. You can see the snow blowing directly, that would be north, not even falling down up there. All right, I'll change this out a couple more times and we'll check back in. See ya.
So today we're going nuts over candied nuts. This is one of Chris's favorite treats that I've made in the past. I haven't made it for a while. So while he's out doing the bulldozer stuff, I'm gonna make this and surprise him when he gets in. As I was putting this together, I also noticed this is 6 ingredients. Super easy. So a full batch is going to be 6 tablespoons of butter, which is just over 1/3 of a cup. While you're preheating your oven, you can cube it on your, I use cookie tray with foil. I use foil only for the fact that it's easy cleanup. You don't have to use it, but I prefer it. 2 large egg whites, or 2 egg whites, and put them in your bowl. 3/4 cup of your agave. Again, here you can do agave, coconut sugar, real maple syrup, or 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. How about there? And you're going to mix until your cinnamon is completely dissolved. So with the guave, it is going to be thinner, which is fine. If you're going to use coconut sugar, it'll be a little bit more, it'll be thicker and a little bit more granulated, but that is an option. And then our 6th ingredient is your nut mix. Then you're going to stir these so they're well coated. So you can do standardly 4 cups of nuts. If you don't want it as caramelized, how thick this is, you can stretch it and go 5 cups. But I think that's probably the best part, is when you eat them and it's crunchy and sweet. Nicely well coated. So we're going to bring out our cookie sheet with our butter on it. So as all your butter is melted, bring it up here. Get it on the tray. Oops. And then you're going to mix this into the butter. It's in here. All right, so in your preheated oven of 325, you're gonna put this back in the oven for 10 minutes, and then we'll pull it out and stir it and remix it. So you can tell that they're getting, especially on the cashews, that golden brown. Gosh, it smells so good. All right, so that's the last good mix. Again, 1 level. And this is gonna sit for 1 to 2 hours to cool off. So that caramelization of that agave can set.
All right, so we're going on probably 4 o'clock or after. I've lost track. This should be our 5th or so oil cycle through the dozer. And my hope is when I undo the plug this time, it comes out a lot more like this than it did the white that you saw earlier, and here the milky color. This is mixed with old oil, so disregard the color there. And let's see what happens. Oh, I was really hoping that we were going to have a different color. Now, to be fair, last time I fired it up, I did run it at full RPM, And then I lifted the front and then turned it to work the whole system. And I bet that's where we're getting this extra milky stuff. The time before I did this, which I did not record, it wasn't that milky. So, just to be safe, we're going to do one more, as much as I don't want to, because we've already put a lot of expense into doing this. And if you're going to do something, do it right. Okay, so it is what it is, as they say. No need to get all romantic about it. So I'm going to let that finish draining, because every time I've taken that off, it still wants to drain, so I let it sit for a few minutes. So we'll do that. So on the upside, by the time we're done, we should have a nice clean system. We'll keep chugging along. I don't think we'll be done today at this point. Or, knowing me, filming doesn't really seem to do too good at night, so I haven't been doing that. But because it's dark by 4:35, because it's dark by then, we just can't stop working. There's way too much to do. So some of the stuff I'm doing, we're not getting on film. I'm sure your feelings aren't hurt, but let's keep rolling. Update 365 on the DOZER project. We got the, oh hey Lisa.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was right on my next project, it's a bookshelf. My pieces.
Bookshelf. Alright, so we got the hydraulic tank full of engine oil. And we got her running last night. A little low on power and then weird noises, so it looked like the tank was full. Apparently it wasn't. So another 5 gallons of oil, and then she overflowed. So I sucked the extra back out. And we'll see what happens. So I took it up the road yesterday, or last night, and today I'm going to set the camera down so that you can see it run. And if you're interested in a DOZER, it'll make you a good deal. I don't think for what we need here, it's really worth the effort. Way too much time put into this thing. I'm sure it's good for something. I'm just not convinced that it's really something we need. We'll wait till the end of winter and see what happens. So I was going to come up and get the mail, but it looks like you beat me to it.
I did.
What do you got?
The UPS man left a package.
Thank you, UPS. Do you leave it in the box too?
In the Tupperware, I say Tupperware.
Tupperware?
Bin?
How old are you? That's crazy. Nobody knows what Tupperware is.
I'm a young 40. What are you talking about?
Right. So anyway, you got the mail. Thank you.
Yeah, it's got your name on it, so it must be for you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I ordered my seeds. I'm expecting my seeds. But this one's yours.
When are you going to plant your garden?
As soon as you move and level off some snow and dirt.
Come on, baby. You know what's crazy? I think if you got really good at this, I can see where you can super fine tune it. And like we did that little ditch in front of the shop.
Yeah.
And you can get down to that small of a space that you can use that, you can tilt that, that blade. So you could totally do that and then go forward. And then I used that little teeny tiny, like that little square end, and dug a small trench for the water to go. And I've driven this 4 times, so I can see somebody, maybe you are a dozer driver, can get really good at doing some really fine detail with such a massive machine. It's crazy, and it's fun. Let's go check out your hot nuts. That was a longer day than I expected. That bulldozer, I tell you, that's a lot of work, especially when you don't know what you're doing.
So, do you know what you're doing?
I pretend I know what I'm doing. I have no clue. I just read the manual. I read that manual 3 times to verify that it's still super hard to say, so bear with me. The hydraulics, the hydraulic tank for the hydraulic pump for all the hydraulics takes oil, diesel oil. I know there's a couple of you laughing your butts off right now, but there's probably at least a good 95% who are like, what? I read that manual 3 times. So for the other 95%, are you sure? I'm sure. I should have got the page number. It just blows my mind. Anyway, we're going to get sidetracked. So I was out there working, made hot nuts. The caramel, the cinnamon, what do you call them?
Candied nuts.
Holy cinnamon caramel nuts. They are delish. So we'll start, some of you had requested that we put the recipe in the notes, the description. Oh. Right? Do I have it right? They make the comments, we make the description. So anyway, it's going to be in the description. You guys know where it is, so it'll be there. So anyway, Lisa, tell us about the nuts. Like I'm sure that when you did the recipe and you recorded, you said it all, but just to wrap it up. Oh, and she made some nice tea. What kind of tea do we have?
You have peppermint.
Peppermint tea.
And I have lemon ginger.
You know, it'd be kind of fun to grow some herbs and make our own tea from our own stuff. I
have some edible flowers coming our way.
You're on it?
Yeah.
You're smart. These are my 2 favorite cups. These used to belong to my mother, so this is super cool to use these. But anyway, let's not get sidetracked. The nuts. Tell us about the nuts.
Well, it could be any mix of nuts you'd like.
What? Is this boiling water?
It's hot. It came right out of the teapot.
Oh, that's right. Anyway, go ahead. I'd bite my tongue or burn it.
And I used non-dairy butter.
Non-dairy butter?
Agave.
Where do you get that? Where do you think people can get, like, is that a common thing that people can get, non-dairy butter?
Well, it's been like at the specialty store, like...
Not like Costco?
No, I've been searching to see if Costco carries it, and they don't. Each time I try and look.
Hey, Costco. Take that as a hint.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I use Miyokos butter, which is from cashews, and agave, and you have cinnamon in this one. It's simple. You melt the butter on the...
You melt the butter?
Yeah.
And there's, so there's the non-dairy butter. What else is in here?
Agave.
Agave, so none of that, none of the
no
white
cane sugar.
Cane sugar.
No.
Cocaine. It's horrible for you. Stop eating cane sugar. Anyway.
A little salt.
Salt.
Cinnamon.
What kind of salt?
I use the pink Himalayan.
Pink Himalayan salt. Nice salt. Extra bonus points. Okay, what else?
Butter, cinnamon. Now I lost track on my list.
Look in the description.
Perfect.
All right, so can we have them?
Yeah.
Are they going to be just as delicious as they were last time?
Careful. They could be hot.
Not anymore. I've worked too long outside. They were hot nuts, and now they're...
Oh, they have chilled.
Cold sweet nuts.
They have chilled. Caramel, candied nuts.
So... For a guy that can't have any sugar, this is so awesome. And it's so sweet. And the nuts, I got the nuts from Costco. Is it rude to eat in front of people?
Don't talk with your mouth full.
Sorry. It was freaking good. It was delicious. Does it focus?
I wish you could smell it.
Can you see that? When you walk in the house, after she makes the
candied
hot
nuts,
sweet nuts, oh, you know you've come home. You came home to the right place. And you married the right woman. We'll make you these. Alright, so I think that's a wrap. We got the dozer done. We gotta go up and down the road. We went, I drove the dozer up to the gate to get the package from the UPS. Lisa already beat me up there.
the dozer goes what, 2 miles an hour? I can walk faster.
The dozer needed some exercise.
Well, keeping it warm, that's good.
Anyway.
You may need it on Saturday. It's supposed to snow again.
I don't know about that thing.
Cheers.
Cheers with tea.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. Good night.